Hey guys, welcome back to part 3, session 54. The Menagerie had woven or weaved their way back through part of the catacombs below, uncovering a strange field that made it difficult, if not impossible, for uh, entities for y'all to concentrate on spells and other things. Moving forward, the group did get separated. Yarsi scouted up ahead and got ambushed, and then the group did kind of spread out some more, and more of the group got assaulted by the shambling undead. And all of you, for the most part, all of you saw that when the undead, the skeleton-like entities of fused bone came and emerged, it was like they were being pushed out of the wall, kind of assembling, and there's this coagulated, congealed, like reddish black mucus like goop that came from the wall as like a slick kind of like goopy tether that eventually would snap and then they would function, but a piece of that remained inside the skeleton entities, and upon felling them, that same goop sludged back into the floor or the walls. Due to circumstances, a lot of noise was made, and it alerted I think it's like 7 total beholder zombies at this point. And the situation got so dire that Yarsi called upon the power of his Rod of the Pack Keeper and crushed a vial of crimson liquid, summoning his asking for forgiveness for summoning a demon, a greater demon into existence, Argonon, I believe it was Argonon, and setting it loose to kill all that is not living. And in the halls echoed blood-curdling roars of savagery and rage. And then the Menagerie turned tail and booked it up the winding staircase in a hurry, making it more difficult, causing some, people to fall and stumble, but then they managed to go up the spiral staircase, head along the 100 and 120 foot floor, then back up a secret staircase, entering back into the 120 some foot long, with 6 catacomb sections on each side, underground portion that originally was a catacomb but is actually the remnants of some sort of lab or experiment or layer. And with the order from Yarsi, Kalasor found the switch to seal the statue of the Shepherd of Fate, and Yarsi slammed his book Shadows down on the ground and started to cast his tiny hut in the doorway to create another barrier. And that is where we leave, or where we pick off. The Menagerie is frightened. The Menagerie is beaten. The Menagerie is all sorts of in, a rough spot. Panting, tired, scared. What would you guys like to do?
So, are we staying here? Like, I would recognize what he's doing, right? What Yarsi's doing.
You've seen him pull out his book, and I think he even said he's summoning or whatever he's summoning in the hut.
So, we staying here then? Because, like, you have to stay in there, right?
Yep. You don't have to stay, but I'm just trying to get another barrier up between me and it.
You said there's like taxidermy.
Yes.
Variety of things, right?
Yeah. So I mean, actually, because you guys came back here, I'm glad I didn't delete these notes.
Inside. We set the room on fire and break every vial and everything.
Yeah. Angie, I know you would. Angie, you level up to level 20, aside to demigodhood, and
yes, I knew it. They were filled with experience.
Yes. So yeah, nearly everything in here It's weird. There's some vials, there's some glass beakers, some books, some tomes, some scrolls. There's some collection of bones. You see a taxidermied owl bear. You see like a giant serpent skeleton. You see a preserved metal-like bull creature. A horn that actually you would know the language. Oh, I think you do.
I know awkward, common, draconic, primordial, and so on.
You know, it's in Draconic. It reads a desecrated unicorn horn, and there's other just varieties of teeth and bones and furs and pelts, and there's a fairy skeleton with its perfectly preserved wings, and it's just in each 6 of these rooms that were once catacombs that have no bodies in them, that they are broken, and there's just a madman's collection of oddities.
But you said taxidermy, you said an owl bear, right? So that's pretty big.
Mm-hmm. So
I can't put that in the bag of holding, I'm guessing.
no, I'm sorry.
I was hoping for like, okay.
And the taxidermy is in a very poor state. Like much of the feather and furs have been like starting to fall off and succumb to the the wet rot in here. And it smells, and like its false eyes have rolled back into the skull and all that. Does not look good.
Okay, the unicorn horn, desecrated unicorn horn.
Mm-hmm.
Would I know, like, would having that in our possession upset fey creatures?
You can give me a. Actually, in this case, it would be a religion check.
Yay! I'm good at that. Oh, I'm not good at that.
Not today.
Oh, I'm still okay at it. 13.
With disadvantage?
What was that?
With disadvantage, because I think you're exhausted.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna roll lower. Oh no, maybe I will lower. Well, now 9. Oh wait, math hard. 10.
10. Okay. At least you know that a unicorn is it's an extremely blessed entity. It's a sign of good luck and good fortune if one is ever to come across one. Doing anything just fundamentally, just from fairy tales, doing anything bad to a unicorn is bad juju. It's bad. It's bad.
I will not touch that then. Okay. And there's books and scrolls and stuff.
Yes, and they're all in various states. It would warrant, investigation and time to see like what is legible, what you can find out, and all that. Just to tell me, like, essentially, I guess what I'll do, kind of, so like, give me a few time to draw while you guys decide what y'all are doing. But I'll kind of draw the rooms, and we'll just kind of keep a note of what's in these things and all that. So, but yeah, there's books and stuff like that.
Okay, I try to look at the whatever's in like best quality. Start there, see if I can learn anything.
All right. I guess I should ask.
I would like to remind everybody that we have very powerful friends who could help us with this if we want to actually go down there. We made them in this very building.
Like, oh, okay. I mean,
Oh yeah, our troll army friend.
Yeah, like...
have we established that we're like friends?
Friend. We're friend.
Quote, unquote.
That part.
I think we've established that they currently won't see us.
Right.
Well, and I think they have a bone to pick with these things in here too, right? So, like, they may want their shit gone just as much as we do want to get it gone. So, let's seek out our powerful allies, I say, because I don't know how many, like... Sure, we can, take some time, rest up, and wade back in there. I don't know how many times we can do that and actually get through all that stuff, right? Like, if we had 30 big bad mamma jammas with us, then that might make it easier. Just saying. Even if we only had like half of them.
Okay, let's go see if they want to follow us down.
It's been a full, almost 10 hours we rested. I'm not sure where they ran off to.
It's true.
But you're right, they are worth looking for. They do have a bone to pick with whatever was going on in this tower.
Mm-hmm.
Rock, you find anything interesting?
I don't know. Adam, did I find anything interesting?
He's busy doing art, okay?
I'm busy drawing rooms, so I know where you've been and shit.
I see. The rooms that we aren't going to explore and we're all going to ignore. Excellent.
Yes. As you typically do as adventurers.
Either we spend like 50 hours on one room,
Which
or
one is
we
the
spend
yellow
2
one?
minutes on 5 rooms.
I assume the yellow one is filled with gold.
No, it's just this is literally just an abstract way for me to kind of it's from the, don't worry about the colors so much. It's just some of the rooms have certain things in them that are not present in other ones. So Rock, are you starting in the back where this doorway is, where Yarsi is kind of on the ground summoning his tiny hut, or are you starting more in the center or more in the staircase leading back up? Where would you like to explore? CJ? You're muted, sir. Still muted.
Well, CJ has fallen under a silent spell.
I'm back. I'm sorry.
Okay.
What was the question?
It just, are you exploring the rooms closer to the statue that you guys had used to enter the catacombs, or more towards the center, or more towards the staircase spiraling up to the floor above you?
Whichever one had the owl bear in, I would be in that one.
Okay, so kind of in the center. So we'll just say green for now. All right, go ahead and give me an investigation check. And what were you saying you were looking for?
The best quality book that I could find that maybe is still legible, might teach me something, might have spells.
Sure. You can go ahead and give me an investigation check.
At disadvantage, that is a 16.
16, not bad. 16, not bad. Okay, yeah, so you're kind of going through and it's taking some time, and, you know, as you're going through and your friends are watching over you or tending to their wounds and resting, Yarsi, you do get the hut up, and your shadow, as you get the dome up, just sits in the dome with you and just is like, as far as you can tell.
You didn't do shit earlier, now did you?
All right, all right. You do actually, it takes you a little bit of time while your friends are kind of resting and recuperating and keeping an ear out and possibly even going up to the other staircase and peering up just to make sure nothing is coming down. Would you like to take a tome or a scroll? What's more interesting? First.
I'll take a tome.
All right. All right. It is a seemingly, if it was in good condition, it would have been a rather elegantly bound leather tome of dark leather with some that have been stained and dyed red. Simple jewels adorn part of the spine, though some are missing, probably fallen off due to wear or rot. I guess I have to do the ominous. Are you opening the tome?
Absolutely.
All right, give me an intelligence saving throw.
Bad juju.
At disadvantage?
No, it's
I
intelligence.
bane him for fun.
Just regular?
Can you bane him?
22.
Oh. As you open the tome, you look at it and it's blank, and you feel your person getting drawn into the book, into the void. You see nothing but white, and then you kind of snap out, and then the words appear. It's written Draconic, which you read. And as you're thumbing through it, go ahead and give me a Arcana check to see if you understand what you're reading.
13.
Okay. It's enough to understand it, at least. As you're going through it, it's kind of abstract, and it's going to take you some time to comprehend what's going on. So while you're reading it, I need to know what your friends are doing. I'm just going to go in order. Al, what are you doing?
I think I'd admire the taxidermy a little bit. Once Darcy is done creating the hut, I think I'd chat with him for a little bit.
You may go ahead and start chatting if you wish.
Oof. Are you sure? But did you use the word summon earlier?
Yes.
You can summon things.
Well,
Allowed.
3 things.
That. What is? I got too many questions about that. So what the hell was it? I can only hear it. And it's
Oh, that was it.
Rock's thaumaturgy.
That was the demon.
Just for fun, I'll drop the token so you can see what he summoned. Give me a second. Rock. There you go. It's not here with you, don't worry.
It's way more terrifying expanded. You said 3 things? Are they all demons?
Yes.
Oh. Is that related to the shepherd?
It resembles
to do
the
that?
shepherd, but yeah, he gives it to me, but it's not exactly the best.
Is it bad for you? Is it bad for him?
It's
Really?
as with any spell, it's the spell itself isn't bad, it's how it's used. If I were to summon that in the middle of a city, yes, bad. In the middle of a catacomb full of undead and targeting them, not bad.
So, were we running and letting it take care of everything, or like for collateral damage, or could it actually? Does it discriminate?
Where I gave it, I just told it to kill everything that's undead, but it can go against my orders, and it happens sometimes. That's why I decided to come up here, close the door, the hut. But we're perfectly safe. Don't worry about
it. The hut hasn't let us down yet. That thing's kind of big.
Yeah, it'll only be there for about an hour.
Okay, so it's not eternal. That's good.
No.
On this plane, how this works. Well, good plan, I guess. That just all happened real fast. I'm still trying to.
Yeah, definitely part of my plan the entire time. As you see that I am almost dead.
I would actually point out that this is the first time you've ever seen Yarcy in a bad state. He's normally come pretty unscathed, if I recall.
Oof. Yeah, the exploring worked out a few times, but shit, there were so many that last time. Can I help you bandage up or anything?
I think I'll be all right for right now. So we'll see what happens here in a little bit.
Anything else?
Relay the plan to Yarcy, since he was working on the hut the whole time, that we want to head outside and look for the trolls.
It sounds like a solid plan.
And I might say retroactively, I will just use Respite while he's doing the hut.
That'll definitely help with the
exhaustion.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
and we can use our hit dice.
Yes. I guess because it would have come in afterwards. Rock, go ahead and roll me one more Arcana just to see if you would have rolled better. All right, Marv is frightening.
Can we just say that you didn't ask me to do that?
Okay, yeah, sure. That's fine.
Because I rolled a natural one. It's still 11, but...
Yeah. So your original total was
13. I rolled a 3 the first time.
Okay. So it's going to take you some time, but you are overhearing the plans of your friends to go up and talk to the trolls. Yarcy will probably have to stay down here to keep the dome up. Rock, what you're starting to get in is discovery from beyond the limits of where dragons can fly, ways to extend the natural, and that's about all you've gotten so far.
The trolls didn't like me very much because of the fire, so I'll crawl into I'll take the tome with me and go into the safe zone and just start reading.
Okay. So we'll just move you here, and then this will be safe zone, and then demon will just go down here. Let's see. Davis dropped a respite. Calisaur resting. He's just gonna stay in Dino form for now.
But he will. Yeah. So everybody reduces their exhaustion by 1, and you can use hit dice to heal if you like. But again, healer's kit. Or no, healer's kit still.
Use a healer's kit. If you are going to spend hit die to heal, use a healer's kit.
And normally I'd be able to dole out some hit dice, but I'm taking them all because I use the most in this. So I'm not being generous, and I can't give out as many as I used to. So basically, you can rest.
How many hit dice can we use?
I don't remember.
It's like a regular short rest, so you can use as many as you have available to you.
Right.
Okay.
But it used to be that you would get some back from me, but now I'm the only one getting them back.
Yeah. We've kind of balanced it because it was kind of too much. Yep. All right, so I gave Calisaur a short rest. Hopefully,
I want to do a Song of Healing during the respite.
Oh, okay, cool.
If you spend any hit die, you get a single 1d8.
You roll the d8 though, right?
He rolls it, yeah. Everybody gets it.
$8, no whammy.
Hey, all right.
So if anyone's spending at least 1 hit die, you get 6 additional hit points back.
Ooh, thanks, Al.
Don't forget to mark off your healer's kit.
Are you humming? Are you playing an instrument? What you doing now?
To kind of calm myself and kind of lighten the mood, I'm playing the lute.
Okay, nice.
Do I get to heal and read, or am I reading?
No, you can heal and read. This is all short rest.
Okay.
Nonsense. Right. Yarcy, you can heal as well. Like, you're in the hut. You're done. You're just your shadow. Marb, as you're resting, Marb, you kind of your finger. It hurts. It stings. But you're okay. Rock, as you're there in the hut with Yarcy, you see his shadow kind of walking around in circles around Yarcy as Yarcy's just sitting there resting. Calisaur is just in dino form, and Hans is kind of jumped on his shoulder and staying there with him. And that by this time, most of the bark and all that will have kind of faded away from his scales. They kind of just become more like natural dinosaur scales and feathers. Davis. Oh, I guess, Rock, are you having the torch still burning?
Is there much left of it?
You got about 3 hours left.
Okay, I'll snuff it out and I'll just cast light and have light instead.
Yeah. Cool.
That would drop mine then, I think, right? Because somebody cast light on my thing.
I had light on you. Yeah, well, as long as Davis is around, I won't worry about it. But if he leaves, I'll cast light so I can read.
Okay, gotcha. So I'm just gonna mark the torch off of you. There you go. I guess I should ask, Grant, are you doing anything, sir?
While everyone's resting, I'm probably just keeping an eye on the door.
Okay. Oh, I would also point in at around this time, because of the adventuring and all that, your stomachs are starting to grumble a little bit. It's been as exhausted as you are now that you've had time to recuperate and rest, especially thanks to Al's song and Davis's, just his force of presence and his being kind of helping y'all recuperate a little bit faster, wrapping yourselves. You're starting to realize that it's been a day. You're getting pretty hungry.
Then I'm going to cast create water and food for everybody.
All right, mark off the spell slots. Please and thank you, and y'all can eat. Not sure to how.
Fill your skins, eat some crackers. We have more work to do.
Nico, Marv, are you doing anything special, sir?
Nope, just resting.
And you did make sure to mark your arrows that Davis gave you.
Mm-hmm. I can also make rations if anyone wants a quick bite to eat.
I mean, we
I'm
got
gonna
crackers,
make.
right?
I'm just gonna cast it. I have some spell slots. It's fine.
And then Marv,
hold on to the chargers in case we need the donkeys or something in a pinch.
Marv, make sure you mark off another dagger that you threw and lost. You didn't reclaim it after the fight.
Okay. I only have one dagger left.
Yeah, right now.
Do you need to borrow mine? I can give you mine.
We're good.
All right.
Ooh, I still have one ration.
Yeah. So at this point, it's late evening, right? That sounds right.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think when we went down, it was like mid-afternoon.
Yeah. So at this point, with all the adventuring, working through, you guys get the sense that the reason you guys are hungry is because it's adventuring and it's been a long day, and you kind of best ascertain, even though you don't know what time it is either late evening or early morning. You can't tell because you haven't seen the sun for a while. But you're hungry. So you guys bite in the food. Grant conjures, his Lawbear's biscuits and refills your water skins, and you're able to take out the excess water, kind of wash off the gunk and the dust and the filth from yourselves, recuperating, relatively quickly. But we'll say, to be able to eat, it probably takes y'all, at least like 30 minutes on top of the respite. So, essentially, Rock and Yarcy have remained in the dome. Rock continues to read. You guys just kind of let me know what the plan is now. I know you guys want to go talk to trolls, but I need to know how and what, or if you guys are looking at more things in here, or yada yada.
Davis would like to go as soon as possible.
Yep, I'll join Davis to go talk to the trolls.
Well, I mean, we should all go as one. I think.
I thought Rock didn't want to go.
Yeah, me and the trolls, they didn't like me very much, so I'm reading a book.
Okay.
Somebody's not leaving you here alone in the tower, Rock. We don't want something terrible to happen to you.
But Yarcy can't leave either because we're in his little safety bubble.
I mean, he can leave. Just we all leave.
Well, I guess if we lose the bubble, I can read and walk.
Yarcy, how long has it been since the incident happened?
DM.
How long has it been since what demon happened?
Yeah.
40 minutes. Yarcy, you would have felt a while ago that the demon's presence faded.
Longer with us.
Pour one out for him.
We barely need.
I mean, he's making water, so I'm gonna pour out my water skin and then create more water. Okay. So.
Yeah, I get you. Perhaps you'll see the aftermath of his thing. If you go back
and see some beholder kids. Yeah. It's funny because when we first started down there, we were harvesting shit, and a bunch of let's take our time and harvest these things, and then we're like, shit.
Players.
Anywho, yeah, let's. I mean, if you guys want to stay, I'd recommend against it, but we should probably go and find them.
I would like at least an hour so I can get some of my spells back, and we only have a few more minutes.
We already took a short rest. 10-minute short rest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he did.
That's what I do.
Once a long rest, he does it. Again, so logistic-wise, I think what I understand, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. Rock is comfortable staying as long as the dome stays up, and that requires Yarcy to stay, I think. But,
if they're leaving, I'm leaving.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't have a plan as to how we find the trolls, but maybe Marb can help us track them or something. I mean, Or maybe Calisor can help. I don't know.
I can yell really, really loud with thaumaturgy.
There's more things than trolls out there. I don't know if we want to do that.
We could send Hans.
He's pretty slow and can't see very far.
Yeah, we don't want to send him that far away from us. There might be just like a swath of dead undead from, the trolls smashing things.
Yeah,
We'll take a look outside.
I mean, we literally just, a whole freaking army left, so they probably left some clues. They're not exactly the most subtle of creatures. Or stealthy either. Like, they're big things. I have faith in our kinky friend here being able to track them. Let's go!
Okay. So, yeah, you guys let me know. Rock, you know that, like, it's going to take you more time to read and uncover all this, and, reading while stealthing is not an option. You're basically have to put this on hold.
Okay, I'll stash it in the bag of holding.
Okay. Are you guys looking at any other rooms or anything before you leave, or you're just gonna head out? Or doing any other type of preparation before you leave? I know you guys ate. I don't know, Marb, I don't know if your coin, let's see, what's your coin at? Coin. Have you used it?
Nope.
Okay, so yeah, doesn't have to recharge. All right. Well, you guys let me know.
My totem recharges every day. Has it been 24 hours?
No, not yet.
Sweet.
That's why I asked about your. Oh, Davis, it's dusk. Here.
Yeah, it had all charges already.
Oh, okay, cool.
The Hearthstone, yeah. I just looked at it.
Okie dokie. All right, so yeah, you guys are free to do. You just let me know what you're doing. If you are to leave, you're gonna have to go up the stairs and go back to the floor above you, which is much larger. But the staircase does continue up into the floor where you entered, where there's the 5 major columns, the shattered, ruined Temple of Fate, and then a couple of the other rooms, and that's basically where behind you would be the 300 or so feet would be the entry point that you guys rested in that alcove initially. So you guys just kind of let me know.
Say we're gonna these rooms will be here when we get back. We're coming back.
Okay. All right. How are you guys leaving? Who's doing what? Is there any prep, or are you guys just kind of heading out?
I'll relight that 3-hour torch.
Okie dokie. Torch is relit. Let me put the fire symbol on you again. All right, who's leading the way?
I would nominate Marb, I guess.
Okie dokie.
I'll go in front.
All right, so Marb.
I'm trying to think, would Calisor have any like wild shape that's good for kind of hunting stuff like this? I'm looking. I mean, I'll keep looking, but if you just knew anything off the top of your head.
I mean, anything that has advantage on perception, like smell, hearing. Right. You probably want something a little bit smaller, so it's a little bit more difficult to see. I mean, keep in mind, he does keep his proficiencies, so like if you took something small and stealthy as well, it might be good. I don't know, so you can kind of zip around. Up to you. Yeah, I
okay. think. I mean, because he's got a lot of his wild shape back, so.
Yeah, and he's got
brown bear has keen smell.
I'll let you.
Good speed. He's large, so he could actually like carry people. Wait, his bark skin's probably done by now, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay. How many spell slots does he have? Not many.
Currently, I think he's got plenty of 1s.
Yeah, bark skin's a 2 though.
Yeah, he's got plenty of 1s. He should have no 2s.
Oh, no. He has 1, 2, it looks like.
1, 2, and 2.
He did a moonbeam and a spike growth.
Yeah.
What was the 3 that he used? Did he try to dispel magic, I think? Oh, call lightning, that's right. I don't know. I'll let you call. Like, so would he bark scan himself before he shifts?
Yeah.
Just for this?
Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't want to run into anything.
Yeah, let's do that, and then.
Okay.
We'll make him a big bear.
Okay. Boop. I'll let you take the token.
I'll find the token.
All right, cool. And so as you guys are starting to ascend, Marb will, I guess, lead. You guys kind of file in as best. Are you guys going quickly or stealthily? Marb, you're leading the way, so you get to decide.
As stealthy as possible until we reach the exit of the castle.
All right.
Then, fuck it.
All right. So
Speed situation.
Gotcha. So the stairs will basically let y'all go by like 2 by 2 comfortably. You could put more, but if you're going slow and steady with a few torches and light spells, I need everybody to roll me a stealth check. And you guys are in the surrounding of the undead torch, the man-eater plant. So everybody gets +10.
And no more disadvantage because everybody should be out of.
Balance of your armor.
Exhaustion. Yeah, except for
19 for me.
That's with the +10.
Yeah, with the I rolled it too.
Oh jeez.
I'm in the back and everybody forgets I'm there.
Yeah. I'm just marking y'all's in the tokens so I can keep them for the time being. It's what I typically do, but wow, nice ramp.
Well, pass without trace is kind of helpful.
Yeah.
It's funny, I see that +9 and I'm like, wait, what about the +10? I'm like, oh, it's +10 -1.
What was your RC? Yeah, I mean it's a stealth pass without trace against most undead. And then what was Calisaur's? Calisaur.
19. Stealth for the bear because he gets +3 for as a bear.
Cool. All right, cool. You guys start heading up the twisting staircase. You know, it takes a couple corkscrews and go up. And as you are leaving, you leave the catacomb labs behind and approach up, and you enter that extremely dank and musky and waterlogged and just, you know, a forgotten and section of the temple where looking out and continuing to go up rather than stopping, but as a quick glance, Marb, as you're kind of tracking, and it's taking some time, y'all are taking your time going up the stairs, making as little noise as possible. You know, you see just the sheer foot traffic from that original gushing swarm, the torrent of undead that came rushing up, and you know, claw marks all around. And you keep going, and then you eventually make it to for you guys, the original floor that you had entered in. Looking around, you know, there are some of the staggering undead shambling through, but they don't seem to heed you any mind. And as a group, you're able to orientate yourselves, look and see the dark tunnel that is about 300 feet or so, where the alcove where you rested was, and beyond it, what light you have from the torch and all that does gather the attention of some undead, but they're shambling zombies. You guys easily just kind of push them over and continue going. None of the real threats seem to notice. And you head out and you emerge. Let me grab these tokens now. On this page, and let me delete all this nonsense because we don't need this, and drop you guys here. They're massive, and you guys emerge in the original entryway where you guys had rested, and it is nighttime. The sky is illuminated by that eerie green, blue, teal light.
I don't see anything different yet. I think we're still on the other page.
Oh, it did move you on. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. And boop. There you go.
There we go.
There you go. Yeah, that ever-present eerie light shines through, and you're able to see it out on the, out beyond the landscape is of that texture of withered and rotten vegetation and plant and countless bone. You do, as you guys are kind of heading through Marb, you do see the more heavy footsteps of the trolls, and you do see splatterings of blood. And as you do emerge, you do see some trolls that did not make it. They had been overwhelmed and unable to regenerate through the ordeal. But yeah, what are you guys doing, essentially?
Gotta find Krenlak.
Alright. So, Marv, I'm assuming you're taking up the tracking role.
Adam, is there a direction that we can tell they went?
You can give me a survival check.
Can I guidance myself?
Yeah, you guys have time. Trying to find what page I had Krenlak's token on. Krenlak, where are you? There's Krenlak.
I don't think a 9 is going to work.
Yeah, no, there's just... You guys haven't found him yet. I'm just moving him onto the page. Give me a second. Oop. Player.
Yes, found him.
Yeah, you're starting to look, Yarsi, and focus, and as your friends are kind of all kind of pressed up on the side of the the entryway, kind of keeping out for undead. It is just a mess of foot traffic, like feet on feet on feet, like it blends together. There's more grooves and puddles than there are noticeable foot tracks. You do see the blood, and you do see the bodies of shattered undead and some felled trolls. However, it's very hard for you to pick up a direction to go other than away from the tower.
I mean, you can get a pretty good eye in the sky, right?
Yeah, well, I haven't left yet. I was going to see which way they were going, then
Can I
hit.
do any better with Does it have to be survival to track? Yeah, because nature will be even worse.
Yeah, so it would be a survival for you.
Are you like attuned to the swamp or whatever? Favorite terrain?
Oh yeah, this guy's a swampy place.
Yeah, you're not inside the tunnel, the temple anymore.
And I get it at advantage. I'm an owl.
Oh yeah.
Never mind. I mean, 13 is better, but
I mean that's still not too bad. I mean, like you and Yarsi right now, it's just so much like chaos and all that kind of happened to go through. You feel you need just some time to be able to like move out and kind of study the area, and maybe you'll be able to pick up on something. But right here is there was just too much chaos here.
Adam, I'm going to try a vantage point from the sky to see if I can get a better way of tracking them. I'm pretty sure they're not going to be very stealth as they're moving through the swamp.
Okay. All right. You pop up your wings. I'm just going to move you up here just to kind of indicate that you're in the sky. Your wings. Alrighty. So you guys see, Yarsi, but it's still surprisingly quiet when he goes up in the sky, and you see him, his body blocking some of the lights. You see that dark silhouette of him just flying in the sky, searching. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Is his silhouette following him?
There is this weird, like, mirrored effect of like him flying. Like if you ever like under an eclipse. 17. Off to the west, you'll see just where there are all these the vegetation here is dead and grayed and withered and rotted, or not rotted, withered. You see a large portion of where many dozens of trees have just been seemingly just bowled over.
I'll go back down and point that out to everybody.
I'll actually ask Calisor if he can like sniff anything out, like tracks or anything. I mean, I don't know. He's in a bear form, and I think they maybe can track stuff.
Sure.
Get tracking powers.
You got a big nose, right? You can do. Does that do things?
Yeah.
So he's trying to smell them out.
Yeah, just like smell if he, because I mean he's lived in this area, right? Like he might know the smell of trolls. He may be able to detect it or something.
Sure. Go ahead. Give me a perception check at advantage.
Yep, because of keen smell.
On
I rolled 2 15s, and it's plus
his
5, so 20.
His is only +5.
Oh wait, no, perception is +8, so yeah, 23.
Okay. Yeah. It takes a while, and Kalasor kind of starts inhaling more deeply, and
What is it, boy?
And it does get the attention of, again, some shambling, and Grant, you kind of take your hammer and bop one, and Al, you kind of, with a rapier, get, them. As Marb is kind of focusing on the tracks and getting frustrated, and the heavy breathing of Kalasor, with you guys having lights, and Rock is just kind of looking around, kind of keeping close and making sure the torch stays lit. Yarsi, you swoop down, giving the info, and then you just see Kalasor just start lumbering forward, and
Guys, I think you might have found something.
towards the direction that the shattered trees are at, and he will just
Yeah, keep going. He's faster than all of us, by the way.
He's still he
still knows we need to follow. So yeah.
He still keeps his mentals, but can everyone give me a new round of stealth, as you guys are in a different environment now?
Still with a +10.
Yeah, you all are staying as best as you can with the torch.
Yeah. 18 again.
Oh, Al is one less stealthy.
Oh, I'm here now. Hey guys.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, man, we did way better this time.
Yeah, way better. Even with like light going, like they're not even gonna notice you guys. This is ridiculous. What am I missing? What was Kalasor's? Kalasor was 20. Okay.
Now that I have a direction, I will go just above the trees. I'm going to go full tilt, try to see if I can catch them.
Okay, so that's 100.
100.
All right, so no more stealth then. Oh no, you can go. Yeah, I forgot. So you guys, as you're following the bear, you look up to see where Yarsi is, and he's just, but it's so silent. It's just like a shadow flying, followed by a shadow. Woo. Go ahead and give me another perception check, Yarsi. And what is everyone else doing as you're following Kalasor?
I'm just holding on to the scruff of him and just running alongside.
Mm-hmm.
Looking for shiny things.
Go ahead and give me a perception check, Rock. Was that a 19 for you, Yarsi, on the perception?
Yeah.
9. Unfortunately, there's not much shiny things. This is all old bone and like rusted old armor and raw textured woods and vegetation. There's a whole bunch of stagnant sitting water. It's gross. Yarsi, you get surprisingly not too far. It's flying at like 100 feet around, a couple minutes out as you're doing that, and you're kind of following this twisting path of like broken trees. And as you're keeping an eye, you see another fallen troll, but there's swaths of broken undead and vegetation around, and you pick up on the smell of smoke, of fire, coming from, you can't notice to see it, but you see it like it's kind of bending through where some of the trees are, and it looks like the trees are like more elevated than the other ones.
Okay, I'll kind of keep my pace, but particularly keep my eyes on that area.
Okay. All right. The rest of the group, I'm assuming, is just doing their best to follow Kalasor as he's sniffing.
Since he's like nose to the ground, I'll keep like eyes up for like those man-eater plants and shit like that.
Oh, okay, nice.
Like just any other hazards he may not be focused on.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Mine, that is.
Can I
Go ahead, Al.
can I keep an eye behind us? I want to make sure we're not being tracked.
Sure. Go ahead. Check. Yeah. Okay, Davis. I got it marked. Yeah, so as you guys are kind of following this path and following the sniffing Calisaur, you do get to that part where the trees are, bulldozed over, and you're seeing it is just a field of destroyed undead and vegetation that's been ripped. And there are, as you continue, there are a fallen troll here and a fallen troll there. And just seeing the previous regeneration, you realize that it's a lot of effort must go into actually following one of these, beings. And as you do, you then eventually do get further, and Yarsi is swooping up above, and because you know to look for him, you see him. Otherwise, you would have never seen him by how silently he's flying. And it takes y'all a little bit longer, obviously. You guys are traveling stealthy, following the bear. It probably takes you about 10 or 15 minutes to just get a few hundred feet out because you're trying to avoid undead. You're trying to keep the pace. Calisaur loses a scent once in a while, but then seems to catch up on it. But then eventually you'll manage to get to a point, Yarsi, where you would say the group is maybe about 150 feet away from what you're aware of. Everyone is able to kind of pick up the smell of fire. And it's burning wood, but it's more like burning fungal wood. It doesn't smell very pleasant. It's being carried in this air. I need to change sounds because we're not in the catacomb. We are in swampland. Actually, that's too many animals. No, wrong swamp animal. What would you guys like to do?
I'm surprised Rock's not looking for sloths.
Maybe.
I mean, I guess just proceed with more caution up to this.
Okay.
I don't
All
know.
right, you're good. All right, Yarsi, are you doing anything? God, I can't find that.
I will try to get a little closer to discern what is creating a fire because I know trolls don't like fire.
Yep.
What general direction are we traveling?
West.
West.
There you go. Sorry, that's too loud. Okay. Yeah, so Yarsi, you go ahead and fly, kind of banking, and you go and you see where the trees are growing. They're growing into a hill, and as you kind of swoop around, you see that it's one of those previously excavated hills. And in there, yes, you do see fire. But to your surprise, you do see large, lumbering, lanky entities with long, from what you can tell, a couple of them just kind of standing guard or out at the entrance point. Lots of trolls.
Okay, I will go back and find the rest of the group and let them know where the trolls are.
All right. It's always interesting when it's a group stealth versus the team stealth. You are aware of them, so go ahead and give me a perception check at advantage, because you are aware, and they don't technically get the bonus from the torches, and there's lights, so it's not too hard for you.
7 and a 22.
Mm-hmm. So it takes you a moment, kind of startled, that you found you found the trolls, like, and then you're starting to gotta get back, and you find them, and then you swoop over one time and you don't see them, but then when you come back around and you see the lights and you kind of start, and before you guys even notice it, you don't even hear it, you just see, and you
Jesus, you gotta stop that.
As it lands kind of in front of you.
They're up ahead. They're in one of the holes. It looks like there's a couple of them on guard, so we want to make sure we don't, surprise them.
Okay, let's go.
Yarsi kind of leads the way. Calisaur is just continuing to sniff, but he's kind of let up, and all of you smell the smell of like that weird burning. And yeah, as you do, kind of move forward, you see one of the hills, as the vegetation grows on top of it, and it kind of starts slumping forward as part of the cave has been completely, or hill has been excavated, and you see about 3 trolls kind of looking around, and you're able to, those with dark vision, you're able to spot the makeshift weapons in their hands, and they seem to notice the lights and
I'm like hands up, like we mean no harm. Friend.
Give me a persuasion check.
Okay.
Can I like
20.
bolster you? Like.
You don't need to. It's either is it 20, I think. Sorry, I accidentally hit the back button on my character sheet. It went back to my character builder. Yeah, 20.
20 total.
Yeah, 14 plus 6.
All right, nice. Yeah, you're you manage to call out in their, what you understand of a basic giant Trollinese. There you go. And as they kind of take a more defensive posture and then see some of you, they seem to actually, recognize you as the group. They're kind of startled at the bear, and they're
Friend, I'll point and say friend as well.
You just kind of see them, like one of them kind of smacking his lips.
No, friend.
And they kind of gesture with that funny word.
We'll just. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so they kind of gesture you. Two of them will kind of flank the group, and one will kind of get in front as they kind of step out to meet y'all, so you're not exactly at the entryway, up 30, 40 feet out.
We'll just ask. I'll just say Krenlak.
And you see one of them nods, like they understand what you're saying, and they kind of take you into the cave proper, right? And then I'm not gonna draw all the trolls, but you do. As you enter this, you kind of step down, and it's a large excavation. There's plenty of room down here. It's at least 90 feet by 90 feet, if not more, and it keeps going down, and it's pretty deep. And there's sitting water in some places. There's, left discarded boulders and rocks and all that, but there is enough cover and enough shelter here. As you are heading down in one of the areas, as you kind of turn a bend and kind of follow the natural, like just the left behind pathway, that seemed to be used to get down here, that has been heavily eroded over time. There is a massive fire in one part going, and I'm not going to bother with the perception checks, but you guys will see that there are bodies of the fallen trolls that have been thrown in there and covered with vegetation, and it's basically like a funeral pyre, essentially. And then as you continue kind of passing, the light illuminates and kind of reflects off. What you see is about, can each of you roll me a d4, please? And please roll it in here if you'd be so kind. That would be super duper. Okay. Cool. Do you guys see 1, 4, 7, 10, 14? 14 trolls total, one of which is Krenlak, the oversized alpha troll. A lot of them do not seem scathed or harmed, most likely due to their regenerative properties, but they do seem sallow and sunken in and tired. You see some that have the acid burned skull marking on their shoulder. You see a couple that have the acid burn from like where their solar plexus is up, following their neck and meeting up their lips. You do see others that you hadn't seen before, and they have like their backs turned to you, kind of resting, and they have they have a large circle with multiple little circles kind of orbiting, like burned into their backs. you see that they're different trolls from different tribes, possibly different eras, but they were all the ones that were captive, and they all, in similarity, y'all will notice have those wound marks that have healed, but unlike typically where the spikes were, they look like they're scarred. So they have multiple scars, and you see like through their foreheads, in their necks, along all their joints as you guys approach. And then a couple of them do stand and kind of like, approach more defensively, kind of doing that. But then some of the trolls that are leading you in put up their hand. Our friend, Krenlak. And you kind of get some of the gist of the conversation with Friend and Krenlak. And then you see Krenlak kind of stand, and here, being illuminated by the light and, half lit and all that, you see just how dauntingly and how much larger he is than all the other trolls. Basically twice their size, and he cracks, and you gotta see this weird, twisted, like gnarled smile. You live good.
Wait, I forget, can he understand us? Like,
Yeah.
I'll say this in person back to the group. I don't remember, last time we did some spells to speak with them, so.
When he's just saying that, he's like, I know speak. I know your speak.
Oh yeah, he speaks a little bit of common.
We need help.
We need help.
What do you need help with?
He points over to the pyre. He's like, many fallen.
What do you need?
And he just kind of, he says it in giant first, and it's Urgra. And they all, like all the trolls around him, like Urgra. Does anyone actually speak giant? I don't remember. I don't think any of y'all do.
Nope.
No. And then he'll kind of.
Although I see a new language on my sheet. Do we all have that language?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
That's one of your perks from being in the maze.
Nice.
He's kind of calms his, his people down and his kin down. He's like, we are tired, cannot fight fully. We need food. Nothing here to eat but Walking Dead, and makes us. And you see that some of them are like, as he's kind of saying that, one or two of them is kind of heaved over and they're like throwing up essentially. And you realize you've had the time and that weird smell. There's vomit in here. There's burning trolls. It's an assault on the senses, especially on the olfactory sense.
I'll defer to you, RP-wise, as to like how comfortable Calisor feels being in bear form, looking like a giant treat in front of all these people, or in front of all these trolls. If he wants to hold it or not, I don't know.
Roll me an insight check on Calisor.
Okay. As a bear, well, I guess it doesn't matter. It's a thing.
Doesn't matter. Plus 8.
Yeah,
He's
good. Natural 20, so 28.
He knows that he can at least defend himself for a while, so he'll hold it. But if they start like, he's ready to drop, and he's ready to sprout wings and fly up.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
How many trolls were there again?
It's 14.
There's 14, 13 regulars, and 1 Krenlak.
And do trolls count as humanoids?
Giant.
They count as giants?
Yeah, they're giant. And
They're not.
I will double check, but I'm pretty sure they're counted as giant.
Okay.
I think that's right.
See, trolls are monstrous giant. Large giant. Usually chaotic evil. Hey, what do you know?
We still have our stew pot, right?
The ladle.
The ladle, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's charged
And
back.
we have the ability to make food every day. We could pile all of our rations and everything that we have and give them what we have, right? At least they're not going to
feed
starve.
them for a bit, yeah.
I mean, we also
Use
have
the
to
ladle, make them a pot of something, just empty everything we have. I still have 4 or 5 rations left. We'll be fine. We can make it every day as we need to.
Can we?
Yeah, as
I
long
mean,
as
if
have
we
a
keep
quick
the
place to
ladle,
rest, I can.
yeah,
Yeah, we've got
Yeah.
Marbs. We've got the crackers that never end. We've got Marbs. Got
we can generate rations from the satchel. Yeah.
Right? It's not going to be gourmet
You can
meal.
I
always
mean, as long as it
transform
recharges.
Calisaur, cut off pieces of him, and then eat the pieces.
Okay, I was wondering that.
As long as it recharges.
Like, it's not great food, but and I'm saying this all out loud so the trolls can hear. I'm like, but I think we can't just save a bunch of people and then be like, oh, but good luck, you're starving to death now. Like, that's not right.
No, you're right.
So you see that Krinlak is following your conversation, and if you don't mind, Rock, and I guess Rock and Davis, because you guys are the ones that are mostly engaging in the conversation at this point, give me perception checks.
14 for me.
Okay.
14 plus something for me.
Okay.
18 total.
So, Rock, you'll notice that while they're talking, that Krinlak is speaking, and then one of the trolls, as you're kind of talking about, the morale, like giving them, we let them free, but we need to give them food and all that. One of them stands, and it's a smaller troll. It's not an alpha, obviously, because Krinlak is the alpha, but it's one that is of a more, their green is actually more of like a flushed white. They seem different in the sense of these trolls. Same stature, same frame and all that, but they're the white. And they have like put like, paints, like, I see like war paints and all that. They've put like mud marks, and they have like the print of their hand on one side and then a couple of splashes on the other, and they have a couple, like a dot on their forehead, and they'll kind of approach and put his hand up, try and get Krinlak's attention, and Krinlak will turn, and he's like, and he will speak. And this troll speaks even better common than Krinlak, and it'll be, yes, food. You give.
Sure.
We need food.
Let's pile everything we have.
You guys are big. We don't have
These
much.
guys are big. There's, 14 of them here? So let's everything we have, guys.
But remember, the ladle doubles whatever you put into it.
Well,
These are trolls, right? So
But yeah, they're gonna eat a lot.
give them a freaking feast if we can.
Wait, but before we make them food, no, let's make them food first. Negotiate later. I think they'll be a little bit more compliant after they're eaten up.
and as this one is speaking, you see that, the continuing, because now he's in the light, you see because of his white like skin, almost like albino. He's got the mud marks, and he's got like basically like a line from his back of his hand traveling up his arm, and then in each of where the little the spike marks are, he's circled them with mud, almost like creating like a design and a symbol. And he will, I am a star speaker for the trolls. Will you help? We are in debt as long as the stars shine.
That's yeah,
Sure.
absolutely.
Does actually do I see? Does that look like he was one of the ones that was in the tower? Do I see like the marks and stuff?
All of them, yeah. Everyone that you see is one of the ones that was in the mark. There's just so many of them at one point, you missed some of them in the crowd.
Gotcha. Okay.
I have 4 rations I can contribute, and then I'll take anybody who's got water skins or whatever. Just ask if you pass them to the trolls, let them have a drink. I can refill them all. And I'll pass my water skin off to the nearest troll. And I'll hand my... Who's got the ladle? Is that...
Al does.
I got
I'll
the
give my
ladle.
4 rations to Al.
Okay, so large creatures need to eat, is it twice or
Not sure.
much? Different times.
Adam, on my way traveling in, did I see any game in the forest swamp areas?
Not anywhere close to this area. This, for miles and miles and miles, is devoid of life. Like, what life lingers is barely there, and it's mostly not animals. It's mostly just the vegetation that you see around you, and it looks bad. It's grayed. It's got the unnatural sickly hues to it. Yeah, it's a starved landscape. So y'all are doing rations, not biscuits. Okay.
Yeah, well, our rations, we have biscuits, we have like anything we have. Like let's leave these guys full. Give them a fighting chance, right?
As full as possible, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No holding back. Like we ate today, we'll be okay for a day till everything recharges for us. So like Nico, if you can do your
I'll generate 5 rations.
Okay.
Like I take out my survival pouch and like bloop bloop bloop, like 5 rations and hand them to Rock.
All right. So you guys actually managed to start getting kind of all right. So I'm just reading Ladle. For example, if you were to cook for 2 medium creatures, it would cook 4. So right now you have enough for 32 meals. 32 meals. I really don't remember. Danny, can you help me?
I'm trying to find it.
Yeah. Because I know if it comes to space, a large creature is normally considered 4, right? Because it's like it pulls up. But I don't think they need to eat 4 times as much. I might just say double. But they're starved, so they might actually need to eat 4 times. So you have enough to start feeding them, but it's by all means, even with the ladle right now, not enough, I don't think.
Well, we have other people's rations. We can make those biscuits. I mean, they're not going to be that great for trolls, but
I mean, read the label. Everything. Okay, Grant, are you making biscuits? Do you have the capability today?
I do have another slot. I can contribute whatever. I think it's like it says like 40 pounds or something.
Okay, that'll definitely help. Yeah. So if you do the 40 pounds plus the rations plus
45 pounds, yeah, and it's 30 gallons of water. So.
Okay. So as you guys are kind of putting forth this, and I don't mean to be insulting, this measly pile of rations when you're talking about these giant entities, right? They're large. They are easily 500 pounds each, even in their withered forms.
So it says in the description that it's enough for 15 humanoids, so it's probably about half of what would be enough to feed them. So if we can actually double that, then we might be able to get to,
Yep, with the extra rations that y'all are putting in. They kind of look and the star speaker will say, It is, we will do. And then as Grant, you kind of approach and up to you, I'll kind of allow you to take the center stage, how you want to create the food or what you say, or go, cleric, go.
Well, it's you guys have seen him do the ritual before. He just kind of sits on the ground and starts praying, and just like a pile of very plain biscuits just kind of starts forming on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And Grant tells them, tells the trolls, I know this is not your kind of food. Actually, it's not even particularly great for us, but it is sustenance. It's sustenance, not a good to survive. It's just enough to get by.
Mm-hmm.
This is a blessing from one of our gods, and hopefully this will carry you through the battle. And he's just kind of praying and chanting the entire time.
All right. So as you said, yeah, go ahead.
How many miles are we from the nearest settlement, or the one that I know it's nearest to us?
I have my map still.
Gajillion?
I mean, a lot.
You travel what? What's regular travel pace here? I can do the math for you. Give me a second. It's a lot. Like
I just calculated what my speed would be at full tilt, and I can go 11 miles per hour.
Yeah, I get that.
But you would be exhausted.
You would be. How would you carry? So I guess I could give you the bag of holding.
At normal, so at a fast pace, even with your increased speed, it really doesn't shift it that much. Like a normal group at a fast pace will travel 30 miles in 8 hours and that's like the maximum, right? Then you're starting to put exhaustion. With you, your speed is faster, so I would say you'd probably travel about 40, 45, right, tops. The closest settlement, if I recall, is something like 60-ish. Because
So technically, I could make it there in a day with level of exhaustion.
Or 2, yeah. Which then would cut your cap and speed, in half.
Rest while I'm there, and potentially come back the next day if it's just 1 level of exhaustion.
But it would take you longer to get back because that 1 level of exhaustion would tick you up to half speed again.
Well, no, if I rest the night while I'm there, I can get rid of a level of exhaustion.
You would accrue probably 2 getting there because of the distance traveled. Like you would get there, you would then push through 1 level of exhaustion. I mean, you might make all your saves. I mean, honestly, you might make all your con checks and not get exhausted and just have the 1 layer. But it would still take you another 2-3 hours of flying, which then likelihood you'd fail 1, and 2 levels of exhaustion is half your speed. You'd sleep, lose the half speed, fly your normal, and then to be able to get back here in time, you would hit that other layer of exhaustion automatically, and then try to save against the others, if that makes sense. So you could do it, yes. It would just not be as quick as you're thinking, just by how rest and all that works.
We'd be looking at, what, 3 days, best case?
2.5, yeah.
I can fill the bag of holding up with meat, and then we can make a lot of soup.
I mean, that's interesting. I mean, it's viable.
What do we do for 2 days without you?
Crackers.
Well, you guys still have the ladle, and you got crackers. You can still make rations. At least keep them from starving.
Feeding us, I mean, we just camp out at the tower and hope for the best.
Oh, you have 16 trolls around you.
That's true.
That's if we want to use the plan of having them help us raid that bottom level. Just an option. Don't have to do it.
What if the town you go to doesn't have excess?
Oh, they will.
And he brings us 20 dead bodies in the bag of holding.
Meat's meat, right?
Wow.
Well, so yeah, no, I'll let you continue. Go ahead, continue.
We can only feed these guys this one time, and then we're out. So
Out of
I don't know.
Sorry. Let's say, like, am I missing something? I was like, oh.
Like,
So Al, I would let you know, like, the magic of the ladle as far as doubling is not limited, right?
Mhm.
It's just enchanting the food is what's limited. So you provide, you make it, and you're fairly confident that even the biscuits will be delicious. The water and biscuit gruel that you're going to be making, you've had it before, and it's not bad.
But do we think there'll be enough
Passable.
for some of them? I mean, yeah, we're able to crate 45 pounds of food, so.
Which is
Technically, Adam, correct me if I'm wrong, going off what Dregnar, you could also expend a charge and do up to 12 creatures each time.
well, the 12 is for the additional
Shit.
bonus. So it will always double. That's not a problem. As long as you have 2 pints of water and you can put the food in the water and stir it and make a gruel, it'll always double the amount of food that you can serve.
I understand that, but the basic one says 2 medium or doubles to 4. But if we expend a charge, 2 medium could become 12 medium.
Furthermore, once per day when you cook, large turns, roll d6, magically altering the meal will produce for up to 12 medium creatures. Oh, yeah. Okay, so yeah, you would get a little bit of a boost, and then those 12 portions would be magically infused. So they either make them trip high, or give them some sort of bonus otherwise.
I
Sorry,
don't
yes.
think we want to risk acid tripping trolls.
Just throwing suggestions out there.
But you're right, it would give you a little bit more of a bump. But I think by the way of conjuring 1 level of 45 pounds of crackers, 16 rations, I'm trying to do the math with you guys to try to help, and just Grant providing 30 plus gallons of water, This will hold them off using the ladle. Like Al, you will be cooking for a while. You might actually, have to maybe suffer a point of exhaustion or something.
Do
Perhaps.
they have a cauldron big enough for this? We need a big bowl. Bigger.
Dig a hole in the ground. Yes, I don't know.
Honestly, no, they don't. They have a giant fire going. And you have little pots, and you have, your little mess kit.
Small cauldrons, right?
Are there fires besides the funeral pyre?
No.
I feel like that's a little disrespectful to cook over that.
Make a fire. It's fine.
We can make a fire, and we can.
Yeah,
I mean, it's going to be slow cooking, but I think we can assist Al, right?
Hey, there's plenty of big glass containers inside the tower.
I mean, we could literally, there's like fucking sarcophaguses we could use. As morbid as that is.
I will say that that there are other vessels, some metal and iron and all that inside there that you guys could go salvage. You could even salvage some of the rotten, furnitures and all that to kind of help you build out a fire, but
I can cast floating disc. It's 3 foot across and 1 inch thick.
Yeah, true.
I can support boiling
500
food.
pounds.
Up to 500 pounds. So yeah, I should be able to support the food.
So if we feed them everything we have today to get them over the extra hunger that they have, that's well over 100 pounds of food. And then every day using the ladle and the crackers, we can make 90 pounds of food.
For all of us, I guess.
For all of us, which should be at least enough. Nobody's going to starve to death.
Right.
They'll be cranky, but we'll all live.
I mean, that's also you're only using one spell slot to cover some food, right?
True.
You can be like, Grant, please, we need more crackers. I never thought I'd say this in my life.
It's like some weird
180 pounds of crackers.
Califor's a druid. Can he do the berries?
He doesn't have that. He can prepare it.
And prepare it. But they would need 4 berries each, or 2 berries each at least.
Yeah, but that would work for us.
How many berries can he make?
Berries for you. I think it's 10 per. So he could feed
Goodberry, because Goodberry is not is it nourishment?
Yeah, it fills you up for 1 day.
So we could also, that's also an option. So I don't think we need Yarcy to fly off because I think we can handle this. We're all eating gruel.
Yeah. So, and by the way, they're like, we're all just talking.
Still need the pot to cook it in, though.
So as
back to the tower, like the trolls can come. We got to go back there anyways. They can. I'll ask the troll. Hey, can you guys handle walking back to the tower with us so we can cook you your food? Will you guys make it?
They'll look at the Star Speaker will look to Krinlak and Krinlak. And they he kind of turns his head to the pyre and looks and lead the way, and they'll start grunting and giant.
I mean, have they? So they've already eaten, I guess.
So you actually gave them the first batch? Yeah, okay. Were you trying to cook anything with the first batch, slow batches, or just giving them the raw? This is just raw food right now, right?
Oh, that's right.
The soup thing is as many times as I want to for doubling. I was probably gonna wait out for a bowl. Do we want to feed him this?
Okay, so
Yeah,
with that,
let's use the rations with the ladle. So let's find something we can make it in.
okay, so
Can we?
Wait, did we leave a pile of rations at the tower, basically?
What?
Did we?
How quickly does it go bad when you look at the spell?
I mean, I think it lasts for 8 hours and then it fades, right? I'm going off the top of my head. I'm not looking at the spell.
24 hours they last.
Okay, so you have one. Because you guys, by all means, could not eat all those biscuits. So you have a pile of biscuits in the catacombs. Gross as that sounds. And then you have this pile that Grant has conjured in front of them, mixed with some of your ration. Some that you conjured and some that you had with you. If they are to eat this right now, it is enough not to fill their bellies, but at least to each of them give them a little bite of something, and they'll eat it and they'll be.
I mean, we conjured the food already, and they're hungry. Let them eat what we have here. We can.
Okay.
Do you have enough to make more? Like, if we're running through all of Grat's spell slots, but can you make more at the tower, Grat?
I'm out of spell slots for it.
The thing is like the amount of food and the how large they are and all that, they will go through this pile very quickly. Like in a matter of 5 minutes, they all kind of reach, grab a small little handful, eat it.
And we had a pile of biscuits at the tower too, like 40 pounds ish.
Something like that right now, yeah.
Something like that, maybe 35 because it's 7 of us, 6 or 7 of it. No, 7 of us ate it.
Yeah.
So actually, we ate half of it ourselves.
So we can turn that into another 70 pounds of food plus the 40 they're eating here. That ends up being more than we thought we were going to give them. So yeah, let them eat here so we can get back to the tower without them dropping on us.
Sure.
Okay. So they eat. They kind of grunt and they look at you, and Krinlak and the Star Speaker will, in the most, the better common, will say, "We will follow. Let us gather weapons and let us say goodbye." And you see, like, most of the trolls will start kind of gathering and heading out, and the Star Speaker will, in a very strange, guttural, bassy tone, say what akins to almost like a song or a prayer. Kind of hard for you to know since you don't understand the language. But he's standing over the fire, and he will, at one point, reach his hand into the flames and let it burn, and then put it on his chest, and tilt his head down, turn to you, and start walking.
Let's go.
Yep. Back to the tower. No point in being stealthy.
Yeah, it's true.
Yep,
we
there's
got,
no
we got a posse.
Yeah.
So, for the sake of Revi, we'll say you guys are able to head through the woods, follow the original path. Easy enough to travel. What undead do arise? Trying to think of what patrols are still out there. There's still actually a fair amount of patrols. All right, I need somebody to roll me a d20.
I have rolled only single digits today, so.
There you go.
Middle of the pack. Let's see, middle of the pack. Okay, yeah. So you guys are able to get through the temple, go to the stairs, start spiraling down, and it takes a while to spiral down with 14 trolls. They kind of take up, they're following y'all, and some of them are bashing and smashing some undead that do crop up on the way, but you do eventually get to that part of the catacombs below, not the bone catacombs, but the original catacombs. And even though it is 120 feet long with the rooms, with everyone in here, it does get a little cramped. Not like super cramped, but thinking logistics.
Hey, RC, does your hut keep out smells?
No, only doesn't keep out anything. Only keeps out bad people.
Okay. Let's get to cooking now. I'll give you a hand. Let's find. I guess you gotta find a pot.
Something bigger than that.
Or the biggest. Yeah. Do we find something big to cook in?
Investigation check. Whoever's looking.
I'm looking. I'm done with this. Roll no. Natural one. Keep quiet, Tia. Enough laughing from you.
Hey, thank you.
So we got a natural 20, 22, and then we got a dirty 22. So there are. Yeah. Okay. So there are some heavy iron left, like kind of cauldron-esque, brazier-esque items in a couple of the rooms down here, mixed amongst all the various beakers and pickled oddities and all that. There are the catacombs themselves. Some of them are, while the tops are destroyed, the sides are very well intact. I mean, you might want to clean them out. There's some stagnant, gross water mixed with God knows what that's been collected down there. It's like the color of tar. But hey, there's those as well.
What are you talking about?
It's got a good shape to it.
What were you talking about, Adam?
This is
The inside the catacombs, there's actually like the sarcophagi.
Oh, the sarcophagi. Okay, that's what. Yeah.
Can
Certainly
we
big
get
enough.
one of the trolls to dump it, and then this is gonna ruin my prank I had for Davis later, but I'm gonna make a mini little rain cloud to help wash it out once they've dumped it.
oh,
Okay. I'll say they're able to find one of the sarcophagi that is actually like it's intact, but the base is broken, and they're able to kind of tip it because it was typically like a solid stone structure built from the floor. But they are, and they, it takes a few of them, and they tilt it over. God, the smell. I'm sorry. Actually, no. I'll figure out a punishment for this. Even though you're being nice. It
it
leaks.
take a lot of cleaning.
Does
Oh,
my 10
shit.
gallons of water help clean it out?
Probably
Rock.
spam precipitation.
Vegetation.
The water helps. But there is black gunk that is set into the stonework, essentially, of it being like that. So it'll take Al, some time.
I can help you out.
Yeah, y'all are kind of cleaning it out, and eventually you do get it ready. Heating it up will be another process. It will take a long time to heat up. I know y'all love magic. It is fine. It's just going to take time is what I'm telling you guys. In the process, like while you're down here, are they eating the biscuits that y'all have already down here as well?
Sure.
Are you holding those off?
No, we can't make more today, so that's what we have to cook for them.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's going in the pot.
All right. Convince them, because they are hungry.
Wait. We'll make bigger pile of food. More, better food. This food, not that great. The food that's coming, much better. And more.
Yeah, we'll make this double what we have.
Yeah, so as you're saying this, by the time you're able to stop them from eating and everything, go ahead and roll me a persuasion check.
23.
Yeah.
Oh, no, sorry, 20.
You managed to stop them, but just because when they got down there and they saw the pile, some of them had already reached in because they were hungry.
Yeah. And I'm not
9
gonna
pounds.
smack their hands. I'm just gonna be like, wait.
Yeah. So out of the 40 pounds, or was it 35 pounds? Grant, you did the math. 9 pounds was eaten before you managed to stop them. They were just, they saw a pile of food, they went and ate.
So there's 26 left.
Yeah. And it'll take a couple hours to prepare the pot or the sarcophagi pot. Jesus, D&D is weird. And then you're able to get the food, and you're able to get the water, and you're able to put in whatever, rations and all that you have, and you're able to make the gruel. It'll take you time because it's just a sheer quantity of how much it takes to cook and, the fire to be built. And you're able to, rest. And as the trolls are kind of getting there, and some of them are anxious, one of them will get to the metal bull-like entity and kind of pull on it, and it'll actually break. And he's like, and then some of them are kind of shoved some of the stuff off to the side and just trying to find places to sit, and they're comfortable. And you hear the sounds of breaking glass, and you hear tomes tumbling and all that. But
Yeah,
so you guys have
Rock, didn't you want to go read? Rock?
Yeah.
Did you want to go read while we're here?
Yeah, Val doesn't need me help cooking. I'm gonna read that book again.
all right.
I'll help him.
Okay. So Al, unfortunately for you, you're occupied with food today or tonight. Rock. Rock, you said you're reading. You know, Al, there's actually going to be like one or two trolls that are kind of like absolutely fascinated in what you're doing. One of them will be the Star Speaker. Going to be kind of like watching, you know, seeing what you're doing, and you see that his arm that he stuck like, you know, like forearm deep into the flame still hasn't healed. It's, you know, it's blackened and blistered and all that. But it doesn't seem to be bothering him. And another one is like kind of observing, and then like, you know, they're kind of like and almost entranced by what you're doing. A lot of the like 6 or 7 of the other trolls are just become kind of like useless slobs. They've just kind of stretched out and like, you know, like I said, moved stuff to make themselves as comfortable. They've broken God knows what. They've probably Krenlak is just kind of sitting in as the alpha. He's just sitting in a position of power. He's kind of sitting in as central of a location as he can, facing as many of his troll kin, keeping them as best as he can in line. In fact, he probably leans his back on the dome, now I think about it, if you ever did summon the dome back up. So, what else is everyone else doing? I said Al's cooking. Let's see. Marv, what are you up to?
Because nothing in particular, just keeping like an eye, especially around the trolls, since they outnumber us so much. Probably uneasy, but I'm pretty well rested now that I've healed. I will take some time to do the silver resin on my bow. That's pretty much it.
Okay. All right. So you find like a little bit more like a quiet one of the catacomb rooms, or a sarcophagus room that's kind of left alone. And in there, you know, you see some of those beakers and those scrolls and all that, but you find a place where you get kind of comfortable and you're kind of preparing your equipment and resting as best you can. Grant, what are you up to?
Angie?
We'll come back to Andrew.
It's 2:20 in the morning where he's at.
Yeah, I'm trying to end it here. I just want to know what everyone's doing, and we'll call it. Danny, what are you up to?
I was just gonna be helping Al. If it looks like there's a point where he doesn't really need help, I might go show Krenlak my new trick.
Okay.
I might say, hey, have you ever seen anything like this? And then poof the glaive away, and then summon it back.
Is it still
Stars,
poof
yeah.
star? Yeah. When you do that, Krenlak's eyes will glow, and he will grab you by the shoulder, essentially, and then, I mean, you can try to resist, and he will kind of shove you and drag you over to where the Star Speaker is, and he will say, again.
Yeah, of course. I'll do it again.
The fire is not so, like, when it melts, they kind of step back, but they don't like that. But when you do the constellation, and it operates, and it does the Star Speaker, as enthralled as he is by the magic that Al is doing, because it's starting to smell over time very good in here. You just see his eyes, like there's a twinkle and a spark, and he's like looking at it. He's like, "You bend the stars?"
Yeah, I guess I do. I don't know how.
You are Star Speaker?
Am I?
Oh.
I just do this and then I'll do it again.
He's trying to comprehend. He's kind of confused.
Okay. I mean, Davis is very confused as well.
No, over the course of like the evening, he might like try to bring up and ask you like, can you read sky? Do you understand?
I think so. Yeah.
Star Speaker grins.
Yeah.
Good. Practice not lost. Good. You have a new friend.
Yay.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll clap him on the shoulder and be like, "Thanks."
He'll do the same. It's a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Even though he's like one of the smaller ones, he's still like, twice my size almost.
Yeah. But he does it with the non-charred hand. He just kind of.
Oh, nice. Okay. That's it.
Calisor, honestly,
he's definitely out of bear form by now for sure.
I mean, it's hours. He can still, he can like curl up into a ball and go to sleep. But no, Calisor is definitely out of bear form. Barkskin is definitely faded.
Yeah.
So yeah, he is. Well, we'll just figure out what he's doing. But he's essentially I know he said he would investigate. He's going to go through.
Oh, sure.
Methodically, like room by room by room.
You want me to roll a bunch of investigations or something?
Roll me one investigation check and then roll me a percentile dice.
11 on the investigation. He's only got +2 on investigation. And then percentile. 61.
Okay, that's not bad. 11 plus 61. All right, I'll figure it out. This will be something for me to, he will go through, and over the course of the next few hours, he will gather just oddities and he will bring it to Rock and Yarsi and them, and he's just gathering what he thinks is going to be useful, and it is time to study and understand. And in his mind, is what Jesse said, he wants to understand his enemy. He wants to understand their prey. This is the time to do this.
Nice.
So that's what he will be doing. And he will gather tomes, he will gather samples, he will gather beakers, he will just anything that he thinks could be relevant to understanding what the hell is going on. He will gather that.
As I go back to Al, I'll be like, man, I really hope this ladle recharges. I mean, we can still eat shitty crackers. I mean, sorry, Grant, you didn't hear that. Actually, yeah, Angie, we haven't heard from him in a while.
No, Angie knows they're shitty crackers. Crackers.
I, for one, enjoy the cracker soup.
As our eyes dart around the room.
I mean, keep in mind, the ladle makes everything delicious.
Right, but not if, well, no, that's right. We don't need the charges only for the enchantment. I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
And the extra kick in the amount that it can make.
Yeah, that's true.
We just won't get any superpowers from this today.
All right, I guess the last person that I need to go to, besides Rock, and I'll go back to Rock. Yarsi, James, what are you up to?
I would have cast Hut again.
Okay.
I would invite the trolls in, but they can't fit because it's only for medium-sized creatures.
There's a number cap, right?
I'm sorry?
There's a number cap, I think, right? Like 8 or something?
Yeah, there's a number cap as well. But and then I'll make sure that Rock and Calisar know the dome is up. So if they want to bring the books in, because I can't.
Leave.
And then as soon as
he's knocking on the head, be like, guys, don't forget I'm in
Yeah.
here.
And then as Calisar's bringing books, I'll just kind of go through them and see if I find anything.
All right. So yeah, you guys can kind of go through. Go ahead and give me an investigation check based off what Calisar is bringing you guys.
Can I guide it myself?
Yeah, you got plenty of time for all this. This is over the course of much time. That one's a good one. Both of their last two are really good. The Star Speaker and the me, guys. Don't forget me.
Guys, come on.
16? Okay.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. I might actually give a little bit of a lore dump right before we leave because you guys are actually rolling decent.
You have +7, so I should have something decent.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay. And then last but not least is Rock. Are you going back to that old leather tome?
First I want to talk to Starscream. No,
Starscream.
Oh, yeah.
There are 2 Star Speakers now.
All right, no. We gotta do the Starscream gifts now. Starscream. Just all the Starscream gifts. Go! Woo! It's not even Starscream. It's Megatron getting a Christmas gift. Jesus. There's Starscream.
Oh.
As long as I don't have to hear that voice. The original voice was terrible.
Oh yeah, it's
I can't.
scratchy.
I don't want you to do it. I can't.
So yes, so Star Speaker. I want to ask about his hand, and just like, hey, like, are you gonna heal from that? And what was that you said to your fallen? And I kind of just want to learn about if he's willing to share.
Yeah. He is open to sharing due to their acts of kindness and the fact that he is now, one, enthralled by the magic of the ladle, and two, even more enthralled knowing that there's another star speaker amongst him, or at least what he conceives as a star speaker. And he's kind of opened up, and it's weird to be around a joyous troll. Like, yeah, that doesn't necessarily go together. Still a scary entity, obviously. And he will tell you that, well, we've been so close to death for so long that it's an old ritual to let the ashes, what's left, carry in the wind and go to the stars. For they were truly dead, truly gone. This will heal. To share their burden. To remember. Pain is a memory. Pain lingers. Go ahead, real quick. Al, Rock, and Davis, because you guys are around him enough. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Another single digit. That's a 4.
Okay. Oh, Al, nice. Okay.
There are 8 total. You said perception?
Yeah. So, Rock, you're just focused on the story and listening to him, and you got kind of like the frontal view, looking at him, and you see, like I said, the paint, the mud paint, and all that, and the markings. And Davis, you kind of maybe notice a little bit. You kind of like as he turned away from you and looking, like he's the one that I mentioned that has a large burned-in circle on his back, and then multiple little orbies. Circles around it, kind of orbiting it. And initially, Davis, like you kind of don't know what it is, and you start to think Star Speaker, and you look at him, and you see that where the points are, and all that, and then the lines. It almost looks like he made a constellation frame of his body, and you're kind of thinking about that, and it kind of okay, coincidence maybe, you're not sure, and it's just interesting as he's trying to have this dialogue and fairly good guttural comment with Rock, and Rock is more of like this trying to understand. Al, as you're sitting there like mindlessly at this point, kind of just stirring the pot and working the magic, and that other troll is kind of helping you, and he's just kind of like carefully, because he doesn't like fire obviously, but he's kind of stoking the flames as best as he can with what materials they've gathered from above, kind of drying out the woods and throwing it into the fire to keep this cauldron sarcophagi going. You're looking at it, and with that natural 20 just blanking over, there is a symbology on there that isn't, that you're looking at it, and you're looking at it, and you kind of just have this moment in your mind where it kind of flashes, and you remember the mother wisp, how she was a massive orb, and then all the little wispies floated around her. It reminds you of that on his back. Now you can give me a religion check if you want. Good luck. But maybe something will come to you.
Doesn't happen to be an opposed check, does it?
Not wow.
Wow.
Damn.
Might be hacking.
Roll me another d20. I just want to see if you're stuck on d20s, just as a fun. I mean, it's a 22, natural 20 religion. Yeah, no, dirty.
There's 20.
Yeah, right, okay. So Al, god, this is gonna be so weird. All
This is
right.
my first persuasion check.
Yeah. Okay. It's been Star Speaker. The term has been sitting there, kind of bothering at you. Okay, I gotta ask: am I okay to give a little bit of hints and clues about your backstory that you haven't necessarily told people, or do you want me to drop you down to a whisper, kind of like of your education?
I think I prefer the whisper.
Okay, and I will let you translate. So, for all intents and purposes, I will go back to Al and I'll give him a whisper after this. So remind me that he gets to learn something about this. For Rock and Yarsi and that you're studying. The one thing that I want to give you guys, and then we'll call it because I know everyone's tired, but I don't want to lose this, and you guys rolled decent investigation. On the book that Rock was initially reading, and he left in the tome and the amongst the pile with Yarsi, from what I understood. And if I misunderstood, I'm sorry.
The original tome that I had, I threw in the bag of holding.
Oh, in the bag of holding. Oh, okay. So I gotta get.
I do have it with me, and I did put it in the bag.
Okay, so I gotta get to the scroll then. So Yarsi's first look at the scroll, and I just want to read something off for you guys, and then we'll call it there. Yarsi, as you're helping investigate and kind of going through, and one of the scrolls that was more interesting, the outer portion, as it's like rolled and all that, is just that's gone. It is destroyed due to moisture and humidity, and the paper itself was not magical. The ink seems to be of higher quality, so once you kind of unroll it and it has it soaking all the way through the the parchment and all that, it was coated with something to kind of help preserve it over some time. And in this, you find, in common, with flourishes of other languages and symbols and all that, you start to uncover a depiction and a document of a means of tribes from far north in the Yinlar region that were encountered that were difficult to bend and break. And rather than traditional weaponry and armor in the form of metals or wood and all that, they went even more initially what was thought to be more primal and more basic, and they used animal pelts and hides and bow. And as you're reading through this over the course of time, it alludes to a bone that has been processed and altered and worked by master, essentially the best description is craftsmen, that take the light, the lightweight, the empty, the void, the gaps in the bone, and get rid of that and condense it and form it into like a solid material, an organic steel, essentially, something so strong and durable that weapons can be made from it, armor can be made, and it could hold up to the blow of a great axe or a maul. Daggers can't pierce it, stuff like that. And it's this accounting and this fascinating of doing this process, and then as you continue reading it over the course of some time, the deranged mind and application of doing this and creating living or unliving weapons out of this, the undead, using this as a material to create a fortress, using it as a material to bolster, right? And you kind of, I think you get where the direction of that is going. I would think. Any questions?
No, good.
All right, cool. Well, on that note, the Crass Menagerie has returned to, we'll stay, first floor was entry, subfloor 1, subfloor 2. You guys are at subfloor 2 of the original catacombs, turned into a lab as Kalasor has gathered tomes, scrolls, jars, beakers, other relics and baubles in the tiny huts, discussions about star speakers and magic and what is happening as you promise your 14, and I have to write this down, so it's 13, 12 trolls, 1 star speaker, and Krinlak.
Who's like 6 trolls in one?
Huh?
Who's like 6 trolls in one?
Yeah.
One big, he's an extra large one.
He's a big boy. Oh, Angie, you're back. Yay.
Yeah.
I guess I should ask, was there anything you wanted to do in this downtime?
Nope.
Okay, cool. So, focusing on your rest and meditation, kind of observing how Krinlak keeps his trolls at bay and in check. Some of them are Krinlak, and some of them are kind of like rested their back against the dome and just kind of finding needs to be comfortable, while others are kind of, have essentially whatever could have been of use or value in some of the rooms has now just basically been squashed and destroyed by the trolls. Food is being prepared by the ladle. It's starting to smell good. Eventually, it will be disseminated amongst the trolls to be able to eat and actually get their first good meal for some of them in multiple hundred years, as you realize that some of them have been suspended up there for so long. We'll pick up with research and understanding, or the attempt to understand what is going on, and I need to drop down into a whisper and give Al something.
But I will end the recording, yes?
Oh boy.
That is the recording.